Welcome. Hello and welcome. This is Moses from PPC Zone. Here I'm on a video to explain to you why your ads may not be running. So if you recently started up on Google Ads and your campaign has not been running, it may be as a result of two main reasons. One is account setup or account related issues, or number two, campaign related issues. So I'm making this video in response to one of my clients who sent me this inquiry on my email. So he said he started doing PPC. He's trying to do PPC to push for his graphic design work as he waits for their SEO to start flowing. So there are the two main reasons. One, why your ads may not be running, and that is one, account related, and number two, campaign related. So on account setup, it may be as a result of the account being suspended, or number two, a billing issue. So one, if you violated any of Google's policies, they may suspend your account. So if your account has been suspended, obviously they may not go into your ads. And number two, if you have a billing issue with your account, or Google is trying to charge your credit card and they can't be able to charge their account, then they may not going to show you ads. And then number two is campaign related. Under campaign related issues, this can be broken down into 5 main areas. And number one is inactivity of any of the following. So if you have an inactive campaign, you have inactive ads, or you have inactive keywords, then of course Google is not going to show you your ad. Or if you have an inactive website. So if Google is trying to drive traffic to a landing page, and then Google discovers, because Google has crawlers that constantly try to crawl and understand your page better, so that you can push traffic to people who are looking for whatever you're selling. So if the crawler reports to Google and says that this page is inactive, Google may not show you your ads. So the number two aspect is about the content you're trying to push, whether Google restricts the kind of content or prohibits pushing of that the content. So there's certain content that Google kind of prohibits or makes an deliberate attempt to forbid people to sell via their platform. And these are aspects that Google is trying to protect their community against advertisers or from bad advertising. So Google may prohibit your content if you're selling counterfeit goods, you're selling dangerous goods. For example, if you're selling drugs or weapons, something that may harm people, or you're showing dishonesty or inappropriate content such as race discrimination, Google is not going to show you your content. It's not going to push your ads. And there are some certain areas that Google may restrict. So restriction kind of has the connotation of limited access to people. So if you're trying to sell, for example, sexual content or alcohol or issues such as gambling that Google does not deem fit to show to a certain group of people. For example, people can't gamble if they are under 18 years old. You can't sell drugs to, you can't sell alcohol to people who are under 18. So Google is going to limit your ads, and your ad may not be shown. The number 3 issue is about bidding, because at times you realize that your bid may be too low or your budget may be too low. So if you have a very low bid, Google is not going to show you ads, and whether you have a very low budget. So what Google does is it looks at your budget. Let's say your budget is $10 a day, but Google realizes that for you to get a click, the average cost per click for whatever you're trying to sell under your keyword match is probably like $12, or probably like $8. So Google is not going to serve your ads. So you have to check your bid and your budget. So you have to ensure that your budget is kind of reasonable. And how you do that is go to your tools, and then you go to your keyword planner and search for your keyword, and you're going to see what is kind of the range. And then you try to see whether your bid is too low, your budget is too low. If you realize that your budget can't give you 2 clicks from what you're going to see, from what you're going to discover from your keyword planner, you have to raise your budget. And if your bid is too low, you have to also raise your budget. So what I try to do is try to put in, if I go to my keyword planner, I try to search for, let's say, gym. So let's say I'm pushing for a gym instructor. I search for gym instructor, and then I look for like the top of the page bid, and because Google gives you a range from low to high. So I try to set my bid to somewhere in between. So for example, for gym instructor in the US, the top of the page bid is $2.09, and the high range is $5.20. So I try to put it somewhere in between. So if the client doesn't have enough, is low on budget, I put it as $2.10 or $2.15. And then I realize, and then I come and check later. And then I'm going to monitor as I optimize the ads to try to reduce the bid. The other issue is whether you have, if you have very narrow targeting, you have narrow keywords or the audience or the location. So if you're only targeting, for example, only a few blocks, or you're targeting a very narrow audience, or you're targeting a very narrow keywords, so Google is actually going to tell you whether the keyword targeting here is too narrow. The keywords are not getting a lot of searches, so your ad may not be shown. And lastly is your ad quality and ad auction dynamics. So if you have very poor ads, if the ad quality is low, Google is not going to show your ads, because every time your ads are entering to the ad auction, they are not going to win the auction. So remember, Google has an auction that determines who appears on the ad, because not every ad is going to be shown. There are thousands of ads there are thousands of advertisers that are trying to compete for the same attention of people. So Google tries to see who is more relevant to the search using a system called the Google Ads auction. I've made a video on that. I'll add it up, or I'll put in the comment section so that you can be able to see and understand how the Google Ads auction operates. So if your Google Ads quality and the ad auction dynamics does not give you an opportunity for your ad to appear, Google is not going to show you ad. So that's all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative for you. Make sure you like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to see you soon.